Well, because these are on auto, they really just do it all for you.
No.
By any
You're
means.
misunderstanding. It's a translation thing.
All right, I'm going to start this now.
Thing.
Okay.
Reaching. Say reaching.
Hello and welcome to Complete Load of Podcast. It's a special episode. It's only our third episode and I've had to get rid of Matt. He was holding me back. But the good news is I've got two special guests. James and Kib.
What the fuck is up, dude? What is up?
From Sugar Pine 7.
It's great to be here. I've dreamt of this moment.
It's good to be here.
It's great to be here.
In your office.
Dreamt to this moment.
It's great to be heard.
Great to be heard for once. I've been oppressed lately.
Finally have a platform.
Vinny, my dog, has really been oppressing me. He just won't let me get a word in edgewise.
Vinny respects me.
No, he doesn't. He sees you as an equal, which is a dog.
And he also fears me.
So this is what I was hoping for. Basically, I'm
just letting us talk the entire time.
Just an hour of you guys talking.
James, should we do a little ceremonial vape hit?
No, I don't like doing what you guys do. Not
you
because
don't have to go for tens.
No
just
tens.
a little cheersies.
Oh, okay.
Toast.
All right.
Toast. Tens. Here we go.
I breathed in too much before I took the hit and I ran out of air.
I chose not to do a 10.
Lung space. That's how you burn your coil.
3.3. Yeah, it is.
But if you don't know what Sugar Pine 7 is, you should probably change that. It's a YouTube channel that is almost impossible to explain. I tried to explain it when I was writing this, but then I just went with it's impossible to explain.
Do it in 5 words.
Well, let me read.
Well, you've used up all of them now.
It's some parts vlog, some parts sort of film and cinematic, and the line between what's real and what isn't is very blurred.
Yeah.
Basically, they're doing something I can't really explain that no one else does, and it is brilliant.
Oh,
in fact.
kind. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Now, do you want us
you're brilliant.
character for this? Or?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've met the real... I don't even know if these are your real names. I don't know who the real you guys are.
Well, remember
I don't
the other
know.
night when we were both drunk and we were like just making out really hard?
Yeah.
That was the character.
That was character James. Yeah, James's character is
nice.
Super
homosexual.
But real James straight.
Real James hates gays.
And also...
real James is just
also quite tough.
Very tough.
Quite tough.
Guys,
well,
very tough,
you
tough
punched a
man.
guy down some stairs.
I did.
And I'm very sore now.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Guys,
that was a younger and smaller me.
I have juice. Check this out, Buckley.
Go on.
Now, this may not matter to either of you, but apparently the word cuck, I could be misinformed, but just saw this on a post.
Cock.
Cuck. C-U-C-K. Cuck.
Right.
Have you heard cuck?
No.
Wow. Okay, it's a term used in the English language a lot. And
specifically in porn.
People just call
mostly.
people cucks all the time. Oh, you fucking cuck. And apparently it means like feminine boy. Like feminine dude, apparently.
No, a cuckold
I know
is...
cuckold, yeah.
Well, cuck is cuckold.
But
a cuckold is a man who is watching his wife get fucked by another man.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like my worst nightmare.
So then this, what I was going to say is irrelevant to that, but there's a new word that is now irrelevant to that, but called soy boy, which means like a pussy, like a guy who's like kind of feminine, which is okay. It's okay to be feminine.
Japanese child.
Kind of like a twink.
But soy boy, kind of funny.
Isn't a twink like
there's estrogen in soy?
Is there?
Mm.
Yeah, I think it causes
That's why my mammary glands have been bloated.
No, the donuts. Feel that. Oh, milk. just leaking.
But how are you? You okay?
Yeah,
good?
man. Hey, you didn't say you're right.
Enjoying life? I know, yeah.
Yeah, very much so, man.
Yeah. Have you had a good week? We talk about the week, usually me and Matt.
Yeah, we shot a music video.
Yes.
We shot a music video for our song Cecilia, which nobody knows about yet.
Mm.
We've had little hints and teasers here and there.
When do you think it will come out?
We're hoping for it to be done probably by Monday, because Autumn's editing it right now. We have one more. That's
when this comes out.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's awkward.
So they're going head to head.
Yeah.
I don't think the traffic's going to merge.
Music video
no, I don't think so either.
Funny enough. 3 views and this has 87 million. You make like $10 off of it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm dead.
I'm lucky if I get that.
Oh no way. Are you about to save my life? Oh no way, dude. This is the first time James has ever shit his pants on a podcast.
And it was your girlfriend's birthday, James, at the weekend, which you invited me to, which was
Yes, I
nice.
did.
I knew it was a sympathy invite, but I took it.
It was.
I liked the bit where I just cleared out your living room.
Yeah, we were all like, there were some people talking near the table, and then like the other half of the people were in the living room, and then all of a sudden, like for some reason, everybody just get up and walked over to the table, and James was just sitting in the chair, and he's like, "Well."
Well, no, what happened was because Steve was there, and your other friend was there, who owns some makeup businesses or whatever.
Shane.
Shane.
Yeah, I was humouring him. I don't care about his fucking
I don't
makeup
give a
business.
shit about him.
I'm sure I was saying some boring stuff as well, but that's what you do in conversation.
Sorry. Yeah, you always have to make it seem like something is interesting.
He literally. So I was sat next to Steve. Steve went, and then he went, "Oh, I've just got to go," and slinked off.
Shane did?
Yeah. And so, and then there was some other
He
people.
said that?
Yeah, and then there was some other people on the couch, and they all just went.
I can't imagine Shane talking and going, "Oh, I just have to go."
it went. I think he said he needed to go to the bathroom, but
That's what he meant it too. I know Shane. He backed.
Within about 5 minutes, it was a full room. I sat down, and everyone left.
That's the funniest thing that you ever said.
Interesting enough, because I don't want that to happen to
But
you
I was saying boring stuff. I know I was saying boring stuff. It was small talk. It was people that I hadn't met, and we were talking about.
Have more confidence in
so
what you say, dude.
What was it you do?
I like listening to you talk.
Okay.
Barely.
It's growing.
I do. I like talking to you.
This is what I like about you.
Anyone would think you're boring.
Oh, I get it.
Thing. That's the way.
Yeah. How you can't fit
The
your.
man's married with children.
You can't quite fit in me.
I met your kids.
It was just didn't you?
They were walking down the
that.
street. And
Yeah, they're
awesome.
There was a good little window into my life that you guys just saw.
What time is it there? Like,
So it must have been about 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock at night now.
It's
And
6
they're
days in the
awake?
past in the UK,
you're
right?
saying that they're
Yeah.
awake at 9 p.m.?
Yeah, they
9
don't.
a.m. p.m.
They don't go to bed until like the youngest one will stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, dude, young kids. For some reason, I remember even me. I had so much more like energy.
Yeah,
Obviously, that's
energy.
normal, but like you'd think they would get tired because they're just
No,
small
it's their
souls.
diet. Their diet of just
only sugar.
sugar and.
Yeah.
Sugar and beer.
Sugar and beer.
Well, I give them beer to try and calm them down a bit, but
Yeah.
that just makes them angry.
And
But,
after
yeah,
12 or
exactly.
so,
Oh,
they just
God.
get pissed at me.
And yeah, exactly. I've had to stop giving them beer because I keep having to go to the hospital and I'm all cut and stuff.
Yeah.
And
They're abusive.
And they keep going, "Do you want to tell us who did this?" And I'm looking at my kids and they're looking at me like, "Don't
Holding
you
slinkies up like
don't
they're
you
going to strangle
fucking
them.
dare."
Just-
Yeah. I go, "Oh, no."
Flail.
But yeah, no, my son just wiped some shit on the wall.
Oh my god, dude.
That's such a son thing to do.
So
He was wiping his ass and he got some shit on his finger and he freaked out and just instead of like washing his hand or something, he just wiped it on the wall.
You're
Did
not
he
gonna
wash his
make-
hands
you're
after?
not gonna get the
Probably
sink
not.
dirty. Yeah, dude, no.
Dude,
Of course not.
what he did after that, because I was there for that, and then he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, James," and I was like, "Hey,
I did have
what you doing?"
when I did have a flatmate once that got shit on his finger or something. There was some sort of mishap. There was some sort of
Miscellaneous.
transmission between arse and shit. I think I did tell you this. Yeah, I've only got 5 stories, and this is one of them.
Yes, and then he kept smelling.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, right?
Oh, you told me this as well.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Wow, recycling stories. Okay.
But I was just sat in the living room, and for the whole evening, he was going, "Oh man, I think I got shit on my fingers." He was just doing
He's just unsure the entire time.
But he knows. I think I definitely have shit on my fingers for sure.
And I was going, "Wash your hands." He was going, "Yeah, I will."
I will, dude. Get off my back.
And it was about
This is-
4 hours of just watching TV in the evening.
Is there shit on your hands?
I don't know.
That's a good little introduction to you guys.
Thanks, man.
I think we should get down to
the
business now.
To the nitty and the gritty.
To the next session. The
nitty-gritty.
next section called "Tell Us What Words to Do." Okay, I've got some questions for you. Usually I'd ask the internet, but I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
So these are my questions.
I'd rather have your questions than the
Yeah.
internet's questions.
These I think these are questions which I think represent what the internet would ask, which means they'll probably be quite boring. Right, so in your own words, I'm interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just describe what Sugar Pine 7 is?
You want to go and then I'll go?
Sure. So, Sugar Pine 7 is a comedy-based and improv-based,
Scripted,
semi-scripted, non-scripted,
dramatic
comedy show parodying the vlogging lifestyle for millenniums, but it's millennials. Millenniums to come. It's a comedy show on YouTube that is half improv, half scripted, and it's about millennials in LA and our lifestyle. As simple as that, with some story and drama between our lives added into it.
That was it. That was basically what I wanted. What I should have wrote in the introduction.
I won't be answering because the answer's been answered.
Yeah, it's good. That was a really good answer.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Oh,
it was all right.
Except for the millenniums bit.
You kind of fucked it up. I think you ruined the whole thing.
It was a bit.
So, how did you guys all meet?
That's cool.
Do you want me to start, and then because the timeline wise?
You should probably just start every answer, and then I'll have nothing to say
in.
because you completely
I'll start off when you come in.
Sure.
So I've known Steve for like 6 or 7 years now. We started together back when we used to do gaming, and then we were brought together by a manager who brought a bunch of YouTubers together. We were both one of those, and we just kind of hit it off when we were brought together in that team. Became best friends, started recording gameplay together, and then I moved to LA in 2015 to live with Steve. He's like, "Hey, you want to live with me and edit, and you don't have to pay rent?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" So I went there, did a bunch of shit, and then went back home for a bit. Came back again, and we just started Sugar Pine 7. Steve and I. It wasn't even Sugar Pine 7, honestly. It was just we were vlogging because he got fired from SourceFed. Basically, it shut down. He didn't get fired. It literally. Well, what would you call that?
So, for about 6 months before SourceFed ended, I was working there as a PA, a production assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I wasn't just like a normal PA. I was like recording their shows and shit like that.
Who's the cool PA?
Yeah.
I was a cool PA.
Super PA.
And so that me and Steve became really good friends from that because we had very similar like absurd humor.
Mm-hmm.
We would always just like joke around and make each other piss each other's pants. Like I'd piss his pants, he'd piss his
None of
pants.
this laughter out of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then SourceFed got canceled because another company bought SourceFed. And then was just like, you're all fired.
Yeah.
And then they tried to relaunch it as something else.
It started to die, SourceFed.
No, I think it was starting to go on an upward trajectory again.
It was, but what had happened was it was like one of the most popular shows, and then it went down to like still really great. Didn't have the same hosts, and I guess that's why people stopped watching, but it got down to like a not doable as a company anymore. Like they couldn't afford to pay their employees with the views and the advertisements, and then it went up a little bit and it showed promise, but they cut it short before it really could have taken off again.
Yeah.
I think.
And then so after that, they had already done a couple of their little episodes, and then Steve was like, "Do you want to like be the camera person for our little show that we're doing?" No, it was before that.
Was it? Which one?
The audit one.
Yep.
The audit one was the first one I did. I had shot a couple little videos with Steve before, with me, him, and Parker that were the antisocial ones.
Mm-hmm.
I shot those. So I'd already like done a couple side things with Steve. But then I remember the first night I met you, we had a
Oh man.
There was a movie night at Steve's house, and we were watching The Lion King, and then we watched Alien. So we all watched The Lion King. You didn't show up until Alien started. And
No, I was there for some of Lion King.
probably towards the end, because I remember we really started talking during Alien.
Yeah.
What happened was,
Which we shouldn't have.
we were watching Alien. There were probably 3 or 4 people in the room of like 12 that had already seen Alien, so no one else had ever seen Alien. And me and fucking Kip were just like doing our commentary to the movie from other sides of the room.
like cracking jokes. And then he shits his pants.
And then he fucking eats the guy's ass.
And we
shit
would
like
literally
that.
just laugh so hard. And Steve's like, guys, shut the fuck up.
It was so funny.
I like doing that.
Yeah.
I used
So
to
fun.
when you're with someone that can
Also likes to do that.
ruins a film with you, basically.
It's one thing if you'd already seen the film, and we'd already seen the
Yeah.
film, but like it's just funny for like half the people in the room that hadn't seen it. And they were
I know,
just,
yeah, you
and they were
ruin
just
it
like,
for them.
and they were just like,
Getting anxiety from it.
It was like that guy in Dunkin' Donuts just a minute ago.
God. Let's tell that
man.
story. You want to tell that story?
Well, we were taking ages getting some donuts and some coffee, and then
We were having
ago.
fun.
some guy just pushed in and just went, "Listen, guys, please, I just want to get 2 donuts and I need to go."
He's like, I just want to grab donuts and I'll be out. You guys can continue having fun or whatever you're doing. I gotta go.
No, he was nice though.
He was nice. He was going,
funny.
"Listen, I'm enjoying what you're doing."
He's
It's
like,
really
no, you
good,
guys are
but-
funny and shit. I really need to like get the donuts and go. And I was like, dude, this guy's just late for everything. Like, this is causing his entire day of schedule to just be
I
pushed
was
back.
like, sometimes we forget that there's other people around who have a life.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, inconvenience.
Yeah.
That's funny because like when I was in Sydney, it was so weird being a tourist in another town because like I'm just walking around like, wow, Sydney, ha ha, but not realizing that everyone there is just, I live here, live a normal life here.
That's everyone though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wherever you go.
Not here.
Is this
Unless you live here.
by chance?
Probably not.
All right.
It doesn't matter.
It's blocking your face entirely. Would you pass me that, Jang? Thanks, honey.
Jang.
God, you're so good. Jang, like Django Unchained.
I
Because you're racist.
thought you said jank. Call me that, Jiggy.
So you guys, from what I'm aware, you might disagree, but you're well respected in the YouTube community. You've got a pedigree. Well, I'm just going on what I assume.
I think that
You know,
it's hard to like agree with that and not sound like an asshole.
Yeah,
but,
I think
like,
I
I agree to some extent. We're not like OG like
I think that we're
Niga
still,
Higa or people like that.
we're very young and like new in the game still. You know what I mean? Like obviously Steve and Kib have been doing this for like a lot longer than me, but like as a company, Sugar Pine 7 and what we've been doing as this show, like we're still very new. So there are a lot of like, and again, not trying to sound cocky, but like, you know, you'll meet people in the industry and stuff that be like, really like what you're doing. Like you guys are doing like a unique, cool thing and
I've
stuff.
not-
Like, and that's awesome. Yeah.
I've not met anyone like that yet.
You might one day. But then there are other people like when we were at the Streamies and we won Show of the Year. When
That's
we
it.
went up there.
That's what I was going to touch on.
Oh,
You've ruined the question.
Jumping the gun.
Well, no, I was going to say, is it important? Is something like that important to you to be recognised by the community?
That
yeah?
like validated everything. I think we had already like gotten a little bit of validation because like a company like Rooster Teeth, that was like the first telltale sign. Aside the views, because that's like, oh cool, people like it, but that doesn't mean like you're respected because there's a lot of shitty channels out there that get views. But when Rooster Teeth was interested in what we were doing and we were like, oh wow, that's fucking cool, they're amazing, and then winning the Show of the Year. So there's little things that make us go, okay,
bear in mind,
this.
my channel is part of the Rooster Teeth Let's Play family as well.
You know what?
So
Maybe
I don't know. I don't know.
No, dude, you're fucking awesome.
I think they just, you know, I think they just do. They just help anyone out.
They do charity work all the time.
That's what this has been the entire time.
See, I think that I personally think that it shouldn't win in the Streamy. What was it that you won? What was the category? Show of the year. It was pretty good. Yeah. The Show of the year. I mean, that's cool. That's got to be the best Streamy, isn't it? To win.
It's a little bit different though because that one is voted for by fans versus like.
Was there a director's one or anything?
There was a director's one. Yeah.
This camera shut down.
Oh,
let's cut.
Shit. Was there a directing award?
Yeah, actually there was.
I'm glad that we
got right back into this.
One of the cameras overheated. We had to cut there.
And we cut for about an hour. So, yeah, there was a directing award, but also it was doing like YouTube Red shows that were involved. So, obviously, those are fully produced shows with crews
they're proper,
and proper shows, not
they wouldn't want
a few blokes making a show. Sorry, excuse me, sorry.
Was you up for that award?
We were, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, Steve was up for that award.
Yes.
Particularly.
Yeah, but he's not here, so
Steve is not here.
He's not here now. Yeah, he's not.
He didn't show up during the hour that we were cut.
And if he was here, I'm sure he would want to be on it.
That's for sure. He really talks highly of me.
He does.
How often do you guys? How often are you filming?
Almost every day.
Yeah, we've changed a lot. We do a lot more planning and writing of scripts, but we still like to do a little bit off the fly stuff. But so we'll plan things for the week, at least a pretty good outline of like each video and when it's going to go up, and then we almost immediately fall behind in our scheduling.
There's always a day for some reason that we can't do something because the planning ends up being
that we just
doesn't work out, like somebody's not available, or that we're lazy, and then we'll have a day where we're like, okay, we can't shoot today, we'll shoot that tomorrow, and then
it's actually always things that aren't our fault.
Yeah,
it's
never your fault, is it?
That one easily,
nah.
Oh, then I guess we'll be better, won't we?
Is that not charged yet?
No, it's not.
Kib.
That smells like fucking burnt cotton.
It is burnt.
It's the coil burnt.
It's a little dude, that literally smells like a savory pie.
Oh, kind of nice though.
Kind of nice, but also not a smell that a vape should have. What
would you say? Would you say you were more of a musician than you are of this sort of YouTube thing? Because I checked out your channel after I'd seen Sugar Pine 7, and it was I'm not sure if it is in a good way. It was just a bit weird. It was bizarre
Like
seeing
the
you.
Kib channel, you mean, or Clayton James?
The Clayton James one.
Yeah. So that's like, have you seen my actual channel,
No.
Kib?
No, I've not.
That's my main channel.
Oh, okay.
So I do like my bits with like James, like that.
Right.
Kinda
No.
like,
Yeah, that's what I'd be used to.
yeah.
But I saw the channel where you're sort of being an actual serious musician, singer songwriter.
I've always done music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never really made it per se, but
You okay?
Are you right? I'm sorry, I had a little tickle in my throat. I've always been a musician, but it's always been more of a side project thing. I tried it for a while, and I went to the UK and recorded with a producer and did an EP, and it was really expensive and wasn't very good, just because I shouldn't have put that much money into an EP at the time. But yeah, I love music, and I don't know, music's like my passion. And acting's my passion, and I love them both, so I just do them both.
Okay.
Kind of as simple as that.
And is that something that you'd still pursue and still?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If something big comes up music wise, are you ready?
Fart from Steve,
Who's not here?
Are you ready to?
the ghost of Steve's ass. Am I ready to pursue it? Yucko poo poo. Yucky you, Steve.
Are you ready to sort of sack off Sugar Pine 7 and say?
I'd never sack off Sugar Pine 7. I kind of utilize the audience
Use it.
here.
You use the audience here.
Yeah, because I mean, once you have an audience, if you put something in front of them, some of them will like it, and then it grew my music for sure. So it's like almost a little boost.
Yeah.
I kind of just make my own indie stuff and put it on Spotify and on YouTube, and then if I ever went somewhere or like it's actually in our day and age with music, and I'm sure James knows too, just by being like you're a musician as well, I would say. And like,
Not a musician as much as I like to rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
But not a
But
musician.
in general,
But do you
don't
find
need a label or anything, so it's easier to be independent and do anything you want to do as well as music, have its own entity somewhere else.
Do you find that a lot of people are like me, where they're like, because they see you being this character on Sugar Pine 7, and I just assume, well, he can't do anything.
Oh, he doesn't have a brain.
He's useless.
Dude, that was the biggest
and then
thing
when we
for a
see
while.
you're really good at what you do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Dude, you're fucking.
You didn't-
auto
You're breaking his cameras, dude.
I mean, you told me you didn't want to be in the video.
and now he just needs all the
And now
attention.
he's like doing little things to just be in the background.
do you want to come and sit next to me and be in
Someone.
this? Yes.
We need.
Right,
yeah, you can sit on his side and
Yeah.
share. Share.
Can we share, or can
Sharing
we
is
just
caring.
plug that in that?
It only does 2 tracks.
I'm just gonna stand
There's
around
one
in the
there.
background. Like, don't worry about
Oh,
me.
that might actually record. You could plug one in there.
No worries.
You could easily, if you wanted to. You have an opportunity now.
It'll add too much time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You nervous?
He's never been on James's podcast.
He gets
before.
35 million views.
Yeah.
I would say though, James, to answer your question.
Yeah.
What was your question?
My question was that do you find that people are shocked when they see?
They used to be. Now everyone already knows.
Right.
But in the beginning, there was a period where no one knew at all that I was anything other than the character Kib, and it was fucking hilarious. But also, for some reason, I was frustrated by it, but I shouldn't have been. I was like, idiots.
Understandable.
It's a
Mm.
character, but how the fuck would they know? So it was kind of funny.
It
And
is-
then
it
once
is
they
w-
found out, they were like, what the fuck? Like, there's so many comments on the music stuff like, what in the world? This is not the same person.
It is
It was
really
cool.
weird.
So many
that
comments
you-
saying
that-
the same thing.
It is
That
really weird
exact
that you have to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have, like it's so weird that you have to sit down people and say, what you see on a screen isn't real.
Unless it's
Right.
a
Like
documentary.
it's really weird that you have to do, like, from the In-Betweeners. I play this crazy sort of sex obsessed sex pest. And I get lads always coming up to me and it's Jay, and they're like, and like they'll say, like, I'll be with my wife and they'll be like, oh, what's this? Is this your bit of clunge? Is it? Like, I'm pointing at her and stuff, and I go, well, that's my wife. She's the mother of my
Jeez,
kids.
So
What do you
mad.
mean?
You
You're
can't.
in between.
The thing is, I know, yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's like you can't. I don't know. You can't get mad because it
No.
seems to be the whole world
But
that
it's
needs
also
to.
common sense.
It is, yeah. I mean,
You can get mad.
you should never be watching something on YouTube and be like, this is that person always for sure. But at the same time, YouTube
Unless it's
yeah, and like YouTube's the one place where like people kind of can assume that because you
Don't
can
mention
be
him.
yourself.
Don't mention him on this channel.
He's-
I'll be
didn't.
bleeping that.
I didn't.
Delete that. His name.
Unless you're just a long
If you
ass beep.
if you ignore these people, they'll go away. I've said it before. I've said it before.
Just wait.
James, what's your background? You did some shit at college.
Yeah. I went to-
Fucking
I went
poor.
to-
No, you did. What did you do? Film development or something, or
I did,
a story?
I went to San Francisco State University in San Francisco. which
Is that
a
where it is?
City in California.
Believe it or not, yeah.
North-
And Northern
North Cali.
California. Yeah, barely northern. It's actually technically the exact middle of California,
Is
but
it
it's
really?
considered Northern California, which
Wow.
is funny. So yeah, I did. I focused on screenwriting and fiction filmmaking, so like actual film production, stuff like that. And it was awesome. You know, I learned a lot there, but also with this industry, as I'm sure you know, it's all about experience that you get in the real world.
Yeah.
And like actually working and actually doing stuff. So when I came down here, I was doing a lot of PA stuff on different sets that were like whatever, you know, PAing is PAing.
Yeah, but that's the stuff that you have to do. You have so many people that go, oh, how can
Not me. I kind of.
What do you mean?
Jetted to the top real quick.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were one of the lucky ones, but you have to be prepared for a while to sort of do a lot of hard work.
Yeah. No, actually, because it's funny, like.
And be proactive and try and make things happen
like,
for you.
Yep, exactly. I still have yet to like really delve into like the film industry, the true film industry, and like try my hand at acting and stuff like that. And so I don't even know where to start. You and I should have a talk about that.
Yeah, we'll put you in a film.
Okay.
Put you in a film.
Yeah, let's do it.
Put us in a film.
All right.
Put me in a film?
Put me in any film now.
Okay.
But yeah, just the whole idea of like how to even start with that, because I think that bless you. I think that like doing, you know, this whole show has been really great, and like being able to like have all this work to show and be like, you know, that I'm a consistent character on a, you know, a successful YouTube show.
But I think that's what YouTube can do, because it used to be that, like what I was saying, you need to be proactive. People say to me, oh, how did you get into acting? I say, well, you just do stuff. Just always do stuff. Do stuff locally. Do some amateur dramatics. Put on a performance. Find a space. Write a play. Do stuff. Don't wait for someone
good at all. Then people will be like, oh, this person was like particularly good. Like, let's recommend them for this, and then like.
But also just like don't wait for someone to just knock on the door and say, do you want to do? You need to, and I think that's what YouTube can do, because people can buy a camera and they can learn about just stuff like that.
The better it's just all
definitely.
out there. YouTube's like the perfect. It's not the only way, but it's for us anyways, and a lot of people and people to come, even a good stepping stone to like start just doing shit, and then people will start to see it, and then you develop your craft on your own. You don't have to do it the traditional way, which does work for some people, but like I never had the opportunity to fucking do anything in like entertainment industry other than my own shit on YouTube. Like there's no way I could have 6 years ago.
But you guys, through that experience that you've had working on YouTube, making your own stuff, learning by doing.
Bless your goddamn heart.
You've proven that you've got everything there through your short film that you did.
Appreciate that.
That you can do that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's the stuff that fulfills me that we do, or is the more cinematic stuff, and like being able to do an actual production like with The Woods.
Yeah.
Or with the music video we just did and other things. Like that is what I love to do.
Yeah, it seems like a progression. It seems like what you guys are doing, but better. And that sort of brings me on to the other thing. We don't have to discuss it. I remember we were talking about it before, about a few sort of comments on your channel now, with people saying, oh, why don't they just keep doing, and this is how they talk.
We had a perfect
why don't they keep doing what they used to do? I don't like this.
Original season 1 stuff. But we have like a good analogy for it. I was talking to James about it, and it's like the content we're starting to do is more the stuff we want to do long term, which is like more cinematic stuff that's like TV show, Netflix stuff,
actual
like
quality storytelling and present, like actually being able to like progress the story through filmmaking and stuff like that.
I would completely disagree with those people that are saying these things, and I would sit them down and say, no, you don't want that. Trust me, like everyone here, this is a channel and people growing and people learning more and people getting better. That's all that's happening. Is that this stuff that they're doing, which was always really, really good. They've gone, right, we've got something good here, let's harness that and let's improve that and let's change it in a way that makes it better.
Absolutely. But the explanation for why they don't like it, which makes sense kind of because of how YouTube's a place for people to go watch videos. So the season 1 stuff we did was like YouTube content, and now
but I don't think it has to be, and I don't.
And they're not there to see that.
I do think it's changed because even I now sit down in an evening and watch YouTube. Like I will sit and watch stuff on YouTube. It never used to be like that. I used to watch traditional TV shows on a channel or a network, but now people are looking for YouTube for their entertainment. And now when people like yourselves are doing stuff that is well thought out, that is high end, that has great equipment, the production values look on screen really, really good. And I just think that's such a great progression. It's ambitious and it's I don't know if you can tell, But just
Have you seen
were
our- have you seen our
annoyed.
show?
I was annoyed. I was annoyed with those people that were writing that because
I mean, it's one of those things too, where like the difference between YouTube and like normal like network television.
So you can write in and say
exactly is that you don't have to wait until the whole season is out and you get the whole rating for the season, right? You get your direct. This is what I thought of this immediately, which is good and bad because you can look at things that people want to see more or what they liked about it and take that and apply it, or you can get people who are like, this sucks now and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's good and bad.
definitely.
But that's with life too.
I'm really lucky in that the comments that I get on my channel is just really, really supportive. And if anyone's critical, it's always, oh, I didn't like this.
You block them?
No, they literally say, oh, I didn't like this. You should try doing this. And like some of the comments that I've had I've gone, oh right, no, that was helpful. Thank you.
You want to know why? And it used to be the same for me, and it was the same for Steve. Like Steve's channel back in the day when he did gaming was like he had no one hating on his stuff. It was. But it's because it was YouTube content. What you're making is like for the most part, the gaming stuff it's where it belongs. It's on a site where that's what you expect when you go to YouTube, gaming and other videos, not like shows. And people aren't ready for that yet. And I think that they're starting to, like you said. I think, but like personally, I don't go to YouTube to watch stuff anymore. There's maybe 1 or 2 channels I'll watch now and again, but like I used to watch YouTube every single day for hours. Now couldn't give a shit. I watch Netflix and I watch shows because that's what I want to make. I kind of watch what inspires me now, but we're just on a platform right now that's not fully ready for this.
To me, it does seem like an obvious progression. It does seem.
I agree, and that's what we've been trying to do.
It's definitely not like out of left field, like, whoa, what the fuck are you guys making?
Yeah, so like the whole thing is like exactly what you guys are saying. It's like the ambition that we're able to have and be able to follow up with and make things that go along with where our dreams are going or where like we want the show to go. We're able to do that freely. But the difference is that it's not gonna just immediately change over, to a loyal fan base or isn't gonna immediately be like, oh, this is awesome. A lot of them do. That's the thing too. You have to look at the perspective of it, is that here's a video, we got 100K views on it. There's 300 comments. 10 of those comments are bad. Right? Not saying it in a cocky way, but like 10 of those comments are the ones that are like, oh, you guys got to go back to the old stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it makes us feel bad, but it's like you're 10 people out of the 100,000 views.
But dude, it's also like if there's, say, 100,000 views and 10 people comment that one comment with like a strong opinion that's not rude, but it's just like maybe ignorant to us, has 100 likes, 200 likes. Right. So there's still, it's a 200 people out of the 100,000 people that watch it, definitely, but it's still a lot of the people that are hardcore fans and watched before and just missed that spark. But like any show, as the seasons go on, besides the fucking Office, it's never gonna have the same season 1 feel, no matter what. And we are changing dramatically,
and that's
too,
fine.
so
I think
it really upsets them.
And I think, but I think I was saying this to you guys earlier. Is like I think that they'll catch up. Catch up with the change and see where we're going and realize, oh, this is this now. I still really like this, even though it's different than what it was.
I'd say it is quite ironic, really, because even the stuff that you're doing in that first season, I mean, I still don't understand how seasons work on this. It just
don't. It's kind of when we decide, okay, we want to end a story, like an important story arc, and start a new one. And like, just so that it feels like there's progression.
Yeah.
Every video is its own season.
Right.
and that
but when those first ones came out, they were still weird and fresh and unusual, and they weren't in that. I don't feel like they were in that comfort spot of YouTube where you know what you're getting. They were jarring. They were subversive and against what everyone else was making on YouTube, basically. And all you're doing is now still being subversive, still not doing what you're supposed to do.
Just now there's people that don't like it.
But it's just weird because if you carry on just doing that stuff that everyone's comfortable with, I feel like it stops. I feel like it stops becoming Sugar Pine 7.
Exactly, and then that's when we become an actual, like, you guys are a YouTube channel, and that's what you are going to be, rather than like what we want to do is eventually morph this into a production company and be able to maybe have other shows that are underneath us that we're working on, or that we have other crews working on, and also films that we're doing. So like this. We love Sugar Pine 7. We love doing the alternative lifestyle show, but I think in a very big general sense, this is a vehicle to bring us to that point.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I said, like YouTube is the perfect stepping stone for that, especially when you get lucky enough to have an audience.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, so what? Just one last question.
Hell yeah,
cool.
What are your dreams What's your dream in life? What do you want to achieve?
Well, like my whole life, I've always loved film. And
Phil.
I've always loved Phil.
Phil Nye the Science Guy.
Phil Nye. Film.
Right.
Film. And I've always wanted to make movies and perform, like, and act and stuff like that. And so once I grew up, I started to find out more realistically what that takes. And I aligned myself with, like, the directing sense of it. As far as acting's always been there, but as far as, like, actually making a film, directing is where I really feel the most comfortable. I just love kind of having that broad vision for a project and working with people who are, like, helping that vision come true and adding their own little touches and stuff here and there. Like with us here, it's a very collaborative process, but there are times where we'll kind of like Steve and I really like to Steve and I really like to do like Steve DPing something. This is like the day-to-day type of videos that we do.
Director of photography.
Exactly. Double penetrating.
Yeah,
things.
yeah. That's what
Steve
everyone was
likes
thinking that was watching this.
Focus more on like camera work and really cool shots and stuff, and I'll direct the scene with the actors. Yeah, so that's like kind of where we're moving into. I've always loved directing, but I think maybe with cinematography with Steve maybe wasn't like a huge thing in the beginning, but like he's really gotten a lot more into that, and so like that's where he's progressing a lot. And so that's really cool that you like within the show, not only are we growing and learning more as we go, but we're able to like support each other in our respective kind of interests and like do better at that. But I really want to obviously move into film at some time, and acting. I want to act first because I've always heard it said that in order to be a good director, I have to know how to be directed. And so I think like in the sense of being an actor who's knows what it's like to be an actor, it helps you to communicate like a vision and articulate it to an actor.
I'm not sure if that's strictly true.
I don't think it's strictly true. That's just something that I've really aligned myself with.
I think you get used to people directing you, and there's some directors who you really get on well with, and you completely understand how they're talking to you and everything like that, and then you could then direct someone in the way that you'd want to be directed, but they might not necessarily get it.
Yeah, I think it's all about experiencing it too, and like finding the differences in how people operate, like in how people think. Because that's definitely not strictly true. That's just, I think, one sense of it that I've found. I think it's
always good to know your industry and the craft, and I mean that was one of the reasons why I started the YouTube channel, was because I'd been in front of a camera for years, handed a piece of paper with what I'm supposed to say on it, and I felt even though it's like the best job in the world, absolutely brilliant, absolutely love it, I just make people laugh for a living. You start to become slightly disconnected in that you don't really feel a part of the creative process of what's being made. And you feel a bit like a fraud in a way. You feel like you're tricking people, because people come up to me and say, they literally come up to me and say,
line you said was so funny.
I know. They'll be like, they'll come up to me and say, you are so funny. You're my hero. You're so funny. And I have to go, well, I'm actually not that funny. It was just that these words that these people had written,
I think it's about,
were very funny.
There's
delivery is part of that.
Yeah, exactly. The performance is definitely a huge part of that. I mean, that could be said with.
That's good.
I mean, because acting is a different craft than writing. So like, I think that if
shut right off.
Yeah.
Oh God. So as I was saying, there's a certain difference between, and also there's just different, we got overheated again. I was saying something about writers and actors.
Something about that,
the density of an object really depends on its size and its quantic fill.
What was the next question?
What are your dreams? What do you want out of life? What will make you happy? What will
I think work-wise, my dream is to like act in something substantial and just act in things I love that other people happen to love as well, with people that I love, and then also be a part of the producing of it. Like, I'm really interested, and I've been expressing to James how I've really wanted to get involved in not being a director, but just being more involved in
the creative process
behind it, as well as like ideas of the show and then being in it. Just like, I like how the who's that crew that makes like
D12?
Jonah Hill, all those guys, D12. They're all just part of like a group of friends that end up making like a bomb ass movie that's really funny.
Yeah.
So like shit like that, as well as if music ever took off, I would pursue that as well. Like doing everything. I just want to do music and acting and.
Yeah, I didn't talk about my music, but I definitely want to like do more hip hop and stuff.
Yeah, that's my dream, man. To do just keep making cool shit, or if we can't make it, be a part of something, get casted. You know.
Yeah. All right, great. I need to just do a little pause there to do the ad read.
Sure.
For the show. It's time now to mention our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Bean Flickers. Bean Flickers is the hot new battle game that kids just can't get enough of. There are over 128 beans to collect or battle for. Test your sturdiest bean against a friend's and see who has the best bean flicking action. Go to beanflickers.bean and type in the code BEAN to get 64% off your first purchase. That's code BEAAAEAEAAN to get 64% off. Bean Flickers. Flick your bean like a pro.
That seems...
Wow, is that a big thing in
it's about
great English?
It's about to be.
Are you aware what flicking a bean is?
It's a game. You know,
No,
like battling tops.
It's like a term for something else in America.
It means clitoris play.
Yeah, bean is like the clit, and flicking it is like really commonly used as like.
What's the clit?
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions for us?
Well, now it's time for any other business. Where we talk about whatever you want to talk about. Is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything you'd like to discuss? Are there any opinions or...
Let's talk about you, dude. I'm still so
No.
interested. All right. So, I love fucking...
Are you going to ask us any questions, or should we just talk?
No, let's just talk for a bit, for about 10 minutes. We're just going to... I just want to
Can't think of anything.
give the guys...
Give the guys back home a reason to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You soldiers out there, God bless you.
Yeah,
God bless you.
for our boys over there.
Our boys in Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
In Afghanistan.
Oh, man, that won't go over well.
Joking. Remember what we said earlier, everyone?
Yes.
It's all full circle. So that's
is.
common.
If you leave a bad comment on this video, I fucking hate you. And I mean it.
That will just encourage people to leave bad comments.
But and they will, and I'm sure more of you will now. But I mean it. I hate you, and you'll get satisfaction from posting because I've said that now. But fuck, I hate you, and you don't matter. Your comment doesn't matter.
He doesn't care.
Doesn't matter, but I hate
Whoa,
you,
dude. You're a fucking rebel,
dude. Hey, got something bad to say? Take it somewhere else. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Whoa.
Good.
Wait, are you fucking yiked right now?
So sorry. Do you not like this podcast? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Simply.
People are quite nice about the podcast.
True. Everyone seemed like, actually, the only thing that put me off was how aggressive you were towards the idea of someone not liking the
How
podcast.
arrogant you were at the end there.
Don't matter.
So do you put this on your Vimeo or?
This lives? Where does it live?
It goes on Vimeo
Shout out your YouTube
along
channel.
with all my...
And your social media, we'll plug you.
What's your social security number?
Isn't this funny
I don't know
that
what
this
it
is just a
actually.
Beyond the Pine?
It's turned into that, hasn't it?
It's kind of
Hasn't
cool
it?
because you're a member.
Yeah.
So it's like
You're an official. You're one of the oldest members of SB7.
I'm the
oldest in age.
I'm part of the Great Britain wing.
Yeah, there's one.
I'm in the Brit. I head up the British office.
We've got you and
Sugar
Glug.
Pine 7. Who's Glug?
The Destroyer?
You
don't know
he's
Glug the
the
Destroyer?
guy who's got the big ass fucking bald head and one eye.
And the guy that glues stickers to his nutsack.
Right.
You don't
And he
know
runs
him?
around with a fucking staple gun going.
He doesn't clip it, he just makes a sound.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's concrete.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So is that good enough for everything that we want to talk about? Because if you leave it up to us, that's what we're going to talk
Yeah,
about.
random shit that makes no sense.
Alright.
Anything that makes
Doesn't even
us,
make us laugh.
Anything that makes us
Let me try and
feel any amount of entertainment.
let me try and put some structure around it then.
If you need structure.
Is there anything funny that's happened to you this week? That's the kind of thing that I'm interested, or
I don't
amusing.
know about funny.
Just a little thing that you guys have done this week, a little story that can give the Sugar Pine 7 fans a little sort of feel like they know you a bit better.
Funny or just something?
Just whatever. We'll make it funny.
Got my car fixed. Had to go back to the.
No, this is good.
Had to go to the mechanic.
No,
3
dude, he always
times.
does this. That's my favorite bit.
I had to go to the mechanic 3 times.
Well, it broke down the first time I
was
came.
in the middle of the fucking freeway, dude.
Yeah.
On the side of the freeway going on
Yeah,
to
you
it.
were here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this was
That's why I didn't meet you the first time.
No, that was the second time I was here
You're
when we
right.
did the podcast. The
Car
first
broke
time I
down
was
many
here.
No, that was the first time you were here.
No, the first time was because you didn't drink enough water.
That's
right.
Oh, I had a seizure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a seizure recently.
I know.
knows about that.
Yeah. That's the only funny shit that really happened to me.
Let me think.
Was it? Did you get an erection?
No, but I thought I shit and pissed and came.
Oh, okay.
When I woke up, I was like, did we pee? I was like rubbing my ass and nuts, like trying not to let them see, but I was like, I think I did. But I didn't. Turns out.
But that was it. So yeah, 'cause the first couple of times I came to this office, I was thinking, oh, Kib's not a real person.
That would
They've
have been
made
funny.
this- they've-
I'm Alfredo and Kib don't exist.
They've made this guy up. He keeps saying he's going to be here, and I was like, and his excuses. He's-
me? Oh, I had a seizure. Car broke down. What's next? I don't know.
Don't get me on whack.
Just tell him I had a seizure.
Dog ate my underwear. I don't know.
Don't get me asshole.
Dog bit me asshole. Can't come to work, can I?
Dog bit me asshole. Is that what he
Don't
said?
get me asshole. Had his way with me.
Dog bit me bummex. How can I come to work then? Can I?
You know about bum X.
No. What's
I
bu-
made bummex.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Bidding.
It was
Bidding.
because you know there's British slang.
I am aware of it. Yeah.
You know,
Like
there's
what's a funny one? In it.
bollocks.
In it.
In
Yeah.
it,
Bollocks.
right? So like bollocks, bum and bollocks mixed together.
Yeah.
Bummex.
Bummocks.
Bummex.
So fucking funny to me, dude.
Cock eggs.
Cock egg. It's like you fucking cockhead.
Yeah.
Cockhead. Then cock. What was it? How to get to?
It goes like to cockhead to cockhead to cock eggs. Fucking
Cock
cock eggs.
eggs. Yep, cock
Cock
eggs.
eggs.
This is all
Yeah.
stuff that's
And then-
going to catch
and then
on.
now
I
it's
think.
crust eggs.
Yeah, now and crustate. If you're talking about
Crustate.
a
Talking
physical
about a
body.
prostate.
Right.
Crustate, and then it was crust eggs.
Have you ever had your? Oh man, that could have been bad. Have you ever had your prostate checked?
No.
I'm not old.
I've been thinking about it.
I've moved into the bracket.
How do you know that
excited?
you have to get a check?
Because I'm 30 now.
No, but do you have trouble peeing?
I think there are symptoms, but I think they say just have someone get right up in there once a year.
Why did you get my
If you
clit
get
removed?
if you get a touch, don't you
I was
come
13.
immediately so intensely? That's what I always thought.
Well, I had a friend.
That's what Steve
who
always
used
talks
to-
about.
That's
I
what
had a
that- that's
friend
why
who
they
used
do
to
it.
tickle his prostate, and he said
In
he enjoyed
class.
it, and he doesn't do it
Oh,
anymore.
funny story. One time I was in I don't think it was in my class, but there was a class. It was a biology class in high school, and one of the kids who
My
was
fucking
weird,
teacher
fucking
took my crust egg.
no, one of the kids like reached in his pocket and just like jerked himself off.
Oh, dude,
Wow.
my friend did that in class.
What?
My friend
Yeah.
in like grade 4 jerked off
Grade
in his
4?
desk, under his desk, under the
Over
table.
what?
Oh, probably just looking at any guy in the classroom.
Yeah.
Sorry, any girls.
We used to play.
It was me.
We used to play a form of chicken.
You could come faster.
No. So I don't know what it's
So you
like.
guys line up, jerk off, and then
Whoever comes first was the winner because he comes on the other guy.
I don't know what it's like in the
Then that
US,
triggered
but
me coming.
in science class we have like benches and high tables
Mhm.
with the
Lab
gas and
tables.
stuff, lab tables, yeah.
dude.
And you have to sit on stools and they're quite high, and everyone faces the same way, and so we would play this game where this is never going to go on the podcast. We play
Oh, it
this.
will, it will. I'll make sure of it.
We play this game. Me and a couple of my other friends. We play our little boy cock and balls on the table, and it's just the person that can stay there the longest.
Oh, I know. It's fucking easy when I'd be like,
So
there
before
it
anyone
is.
saw,
Yeah.
did people always see?
Well, other people would be like laughing and stuff, but I mean,
And
well,
you probably just like whip it out and put it back in. Like,
but imagine if you did get. How would you explain that?
Play
if
the
you got
game.
caught, like a teacher came in. Welcome to the podcast. Help yourself to come in at any moment, even if we're busy. Just walk in.
I want to carry on with the story.
Keep
but
going. Tell us about how you put your dick balls on the table when you were a
Put
child.
your dick on the desk, and you waited for the teacher to see.
Well, the teacher would turn around and write on the board.
This
And
absolutely has to go in. You can't cut this out. This is
we'd all
hilarious.
stand
It's
there,
gold.
and it's the person that would sort of be scared first. They
This-
lose.
This
and
is
it's
what
the
I would
last
do.
person standing.
I would join, and then I'd put them away, and then I'd be like, "Teacher, everyone has their dick and balls on the table." And everyone would scatter away, and they'd get caught because they would run away and be like, "They're disgusting, filthy creatures."
But that was some good. Any
They're
other
way
any
dumb.
other business?
You ever
go
had
on.
toast?
What's toast?
So toast is
You come in a
Well,
piece of toast and
not
you spread
yet.
it.
No.
Oh no, I know what toast is. It's
Toast is
it's roasted bread.
Well, no, this is a
But you
game.
ever play with
It's
it.
a game called toast. So you get a piece of toast,
Yeah.
and you stand in a circle with your friends, and
Oh,
you
is
pull out your penises.
this coming
and
on come on a biscuit?
you jerking on it. You jerking on it, and
Yeah.
the last person to come has to eat the toast with all of the cum and pum on it,
All right.
with the poo poo.
Did you ever play that?
We played the shitting version of that.
Did you ever play that?
Yeah, I always won.
No, no one.
I got to eat the toast every single time.
No, that.
Holy shit!
Never had to
dude.
bring lunch to school, dude.
Holy shit, dude!
All right. On that note, I think that's a good place to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Thanks the sponsor, Bean Flickers. Thank you, Kib and James.
Welcome.
Really appreciate it. You've really helped me out.
Thank me.
Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and there'll be more of this nonsense soon, I'm sure. Goodbye.
Bye. I'll get the bread.